And this one is a fascinating channel. It's called Design Atelier. Amazing channel. Just like Ben's, you don't see the guy himself, it's just hands on a desk. But this guy uses an iPad with a pen and he illustrates everything that he's talking about as he goes. It's miraculous. Like, his episodes must take so much time to make. These videos are amazing, very informative. I didn't really know how the Sky Dweller worked, not really, until I saw his thing on the Sky Dweller. I was like, oh, okay. Fun fact, actually, about that guy. It seems he's from Aruba. Dude, if you're watching, I made your national anthem. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was commissioned to do a rewrite, a rearrangement of Aruba Dushitera by Padu, right?
Yeah, Padu Lampe.
And we did it in New York. I handpicked all the players, and they flew in, like, must have been 30 or 40 people to sing it. They were all like personalities from,
honestly, I don't know any
down
of them.
there, from the TV and the radio and stuff, and politicians and stuff.
Nice.
So there you go, man. It would be funny if you didn't like my channel. I noticed you did a poll recently on like the best watch channels, and I wasn't one. Screw you. Nah.
Wait,
But
is that true?
maybe you hate my channel. That would be funnier though.
No, that's
'cause
not true.
Now you know that every time you hear your anthem, because they play it every single day on the radio and TV, their local radio. That's me. So you can't get away.
Where was that? Oh man, he's right. Boom. Designer note subject 87.
If you're new here, my name's JCB. Well, no, that's not my real name, obviously, but it's kind of a little bit more interesting than my real name, so we're just going to go with that for now.
This interesting man just made my week incredibly, nightmarishly challenging. He had the audacity to ask me to redesign a watch from the German brand. Before you subscribe to JCB's channel, please allow me to highlight what makes the Odysseus a great sporty watch, and then make a feeble attempt to improve on its aesthetics. Let's hope that I still have a career after this video. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us on Instagram at Design Atelier Aruba for behind-the-scenes content. Email us at designatelierviewer@gmail.com. The Odysseus is a Lange Sohne's only much-awaited steel watch. It has the expected dimensions of 40.5mm in diameter with a 47mm lug-to-lug span. It's relatively thin with a height of 11.1mm, which is perfect for all occasions and slides right under your sleeves easily. As expected in all horology brands, the finishing on this Lange is exceptional. There's ample polished surfaces, satin facets, and mirrored bevels. The dial is a deeply dimensional step dial with varying textures. This multi-layered design is also present down to the subdial. The alignment between the indexes and hands are well thought out and pleasing to the eyes. Speaking of visually pleasing, there's ample space between these details that provides a soothing balance to the dial. This balance is very much emphasized with the two numerical windows that are near identical to each other. The top part of the dial has all the details that makes this watch a Lange watch. The brand's name arch, the atelier location, and watch designation, it's all there in this upper half of the dial. The dial's lower half is occupied by the small seconds subdial that somewhat divides enthusiasts. But frankly, removing this subdial would swing the watch down to the dressy category. The whole right side of the case is the home of the date and day pushers. They are discreetly shaped and can easily fool anyone against their functional nature. The crown is a screw-down crown, providing a 120 meter of water resistance. The dial elements are inherently Lange, with the small seconds configuration taken from the Saxonia. The twin day and date window is reminiscent of the Zeitwerk numerals layout. These elements truly brings the Odysseus firmly into Lange's collection of timepieces. Let's now pay attention to Lange's interpretation of a steel bracelet. It, interestingly, looks integrated, but it packs a few tricks under its sleeve. Underneath each link is a push-button mechanism built into the link itself that makes it very easy to remove and resize the watch. This is firmly secured with a deployant clasp embellished with a Lange's medallion. Also visible behind the watch is the in-house caliber movement L155.1 Datomatic. This beats at 4 Hz that aids in the shock resistance of the watch and highly appropriate for a sports watch expecting rigorous use. Like many German watches before it, the German silver plate dominates the movement, a signature Saxon flair of Lange. It's a carefully crafted watch, finely detailed as what is expected of high horology offerings. Merely looking at the screen, it's hard to appreciate the beauty of this watch. I can dream all I want, but it really begs to be held in hand and worn on the wrist before I could begin to grasp of what all the fuzz is about. But let me work with what I have. Let's see what I would change to take this out of my dreams and into my hands. The first thing I would change are the connections between the lugs and the end links. I would have loved it to blend better with each other, rather than to have it a step lower. I would then reshape the case on the left side to match the case pushers on the right. This will then give it a soft to nose shape. Next would be a slight redesign of the dial. As it is right now, it has 2 date discs. I will rework the large disc to have a wider surface to serve as a background for the numerals. I would then take the smaller disc, make it wide enough to cover 2 numerals, and print this on a clear sapphire sheet. All this retooling will help eliminate the noticeable gap between the numerals. This is not a new technique, and Lange has done a marvelous work with crystals before. Aside from that, the dial will remain untouched. It is desirable already as it is. I will then make a drastic resizing and re-tapering of the bracelet. This will draw attention to the case more and provide a sort of commitment to the tapering and shape idea. The original felt like it was trying to either taper or resisting to be a straight-cut bracelet. These soft corners and matching end links will drastically change the look of the watch, even though the change seemed minimal. This would be clear when set beside the original. The tapering bracelet will be engaging right away. The shape profile would now be more symmetrical, logical in some ways too. This symmetry will trickle down to the date window when the metal separator will be eliminated. This is how I would have liked my Lange Sohne Odysseus to look like. It has more radical angles on that bracelet, but keeps the essential DNA of a Lange watch. However, as much as I like this new shape and minor retouching of the watch, it oddly doesn't feel that it belongs in the Odysseus line. Am I wrong to push the limits of the angles? Maybe. Maybe the designers of the Odysseus once had something similar to this, but later restrained themselves since it pushed too far. In either case, I'm happy enough both exists. The Odysseus being a watch you can buy now, and this reinterpretation that's no longer a dream. It's a challenge that has been overcome, and hopefully one interesting man would be happy enough to see it. Thank you so much to Ocean of the Timeless Watch channel for the gracious shout out and massive boost for our channel. Special thanks also to JCB for the design challenge. So if you're not subscribed yet to both of them, please subscribe to both their channels on the links in the description below.